Okay, what's going on? Today is Friday, April 19th, 2024. Special day for me, birthday, right? So I'm super excited to be here, super grateful to be here. Being able to do what I love to do, for income, something I've, always wanted to do. And been working toward this for a while. I'm still working towards it, but just really grateful to be here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the screen. We're gonna jump right in today. The goal today is just, we've had a really good week, just like last week. And the difference is this week is just focusing on not giving back to the markets. All right, so we got about 4 minutes left. I'm gonna kind of show really quick, actually, a little bit of higher time frame bias, so we can really look into this really quickly. We always like to go dollar index, Euro USD, and then into our futures indices. As you can see on this daily, right, daily dollar, we've made that lower low. We had like a slight pump up yesterday at the 106 level, but we've already closed lower low. What I'm anticipating today is if we can close again lower, that we're going to see a lot of weakness down into the 105.50s, 105 level, maybe 105.20s for dollar, and we'll reevaluate next week. And then anytime we're looking for something to happen on dollar index, we're looking for the vice versa on Euro USD. So we're holding this 1.650 level. I think that we're going to close above 1.7 possibly today, back in this range, and then start making our way back up to the April monthly open 1.780 area. So that's kind of my bias there. So anytime we want to see dollar down, we want to see XXX USD assets to the upside. So kind of going over into NQ, right? We'll just go straight in. Now, last night we all talked about 3 different indices. One thing you can see is they ran the internal liquidity here and have responded really well up 37,600. Same thing with daily E-mini, right? You have that $5,000 or $5,000 whole level. Let me turn this down a little bit, sorry. 5,000 whole level, which that level's hit perfectly and bounced. And we anticipated that last night. And then I want to show the NQ level and kind of give you guys the idea of why we might be looking for long positions today. So same thing here. 2024 open is still open for ES, but when you look at NQ here, we filled the inefficiency, we tapped the down candle, and we tapped the 2024 open. So as you go into like a 4-hour, we have higher open, higher close, higher open, higher close, higher open, higher close. We're all really kind of catching momentum. And I feel like, especially on YM up to 39,000, that this is just trendline trader stuck, and that these tops right here at 39.4 eventually will get hit. And then if we go drop into a 1-hour, what I would anticipate that if price is going to go up, then it's going to go down before it goes up, most likely. So ES targets 51.20, 51 flat. And then if we can, continue this bullish run on NQ, then I would just want to play up into the 17,760, 17,800 levels at previous day high. So we'll see what we get today. I'm going to go ahead and move over to the snipe window. And we will be focused on what we're going to see. So the goal is to be patient. We don't want to take more than 1 to 3 setups in total. We want to make sure that their setups, they're worth, drawing up. They're not worth even drawing up, and they're pointless to even take. So with that being said, be safe. We got about a minute left. I'm going to reshape all these windows one more time, and then we will shape them as we go. So super excited for today. Let's be patient. Let's make some money. See you guys on the other side.
Let's go. Let's go, guys. Got the All-Star spot. Let's go. All right. I talked to people out here for. I got the house without babies, so.
Okay, so first reaction that we got out the gate was price moving. So I'm marking it on different windows, kind of getting an idea. Now, remember, I'm a better buyer than I am seller. So sometimes when I'm seeing that V already shape, I'd rather play where that daily open would be to basically buy it, essentially sell it, but you know what I mean? So just gonna be patient right here. Don't really see anything I just want to like, put a lot of risk on yet. And then looking at the other two, I'm always watching their 1 hours and 15s. They're kind of just sitting in that same spot, but we have been really bullish overnight. So I really just want to see what we do here. I kind of got chopped up the other day trying to play right in this type of area. So I'll wait for that 5 minute swing no matter what. So like you have that swing low here, you have that swing high, and you can kind of see where it's positioned on that 15. So I'd rather wait for it to just kind of rip a little bit lower. So be patient, stay focused here. Okay, let me stay focused here.
Rally up 85 and a half, 85, 62. Ever since then, we've been trending down. We just broke that downward trend. Now looking for a push 82, 50, 8,300. That must have been way.
Okay. We're getting that inefficiency fill. I'm sure my chair. It's too high in my chair right now. There we go.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary.
So like I said, the 1 hours, when you look at all of them, to me, when I'm looking across the board, they're 15s, I can see them coming lower, but they may hold this level too. So until I get like a signal, just be patient. Let me write some stuff down here. Initial move was down. So when I look at it like subjectively too, and I can look at it as like this, they're already starting to buy it up, right? Or sell it down, aka, right? So I'm gonna be focused and just stay focused here. First move, bearish. So just waiting on that first 5 minute close because they're really just manipulating here, I believe. And when you look at a 15, there may have been a position that you could have took, off that imbalance fill, but I'm not rushing anything today. Fridays, they love to make the best move at PM, but I do like how that just made lower low, came back and tapped. So let me watch this over here side. Okay. So I usually like this to hit this New York Open tap. Especially if it was looking like this. Like I said, it'd be a really good buy. So just want to see. I want to focus on here though. I want to see this first 5 minute close. Looking at the other two, their 1 hours are really bullish. So these could end up turning up, but I'll let them prove to me a little bit, right? Because I mean, this isn't breaking the structure. This could easily sell off still. But the other two's 1 hours are very bullish. So looking really good.
The one thing I also do is anchor you up to that first 3 minute candle to see how volume is up, right? Because
So for me, I think they're gonna sell it off. That's just me. So we'll take one here and this other one. Okay, so I kind of like this price here. Let me see. With my sell, it's already going down, but if it can pull back up, back into that area, then I'll use my stop losses. New York Open, the high of that. So 17,496. 496, right? Is that right? Was that right what that was? 496 flat. Take profits would be the 2024 Open, 7225s, 7220s. Okay, so that risk right there isn't bad. I want it to be pulling up a little bit more. on that 5 minutes. So if it can come up a little bit more, but it already did, you know what I mean? So that's why I don't want to chase it. I did take a trade on CFD as it was pushing back up, and then kind of started doing this. I took one and put my stop here. So if I miss it here, it's okay because I've already had the 3 days winning, but just kind of giving the idea that I do think price is going to sell off. Potentially. So it looks good. So I do have that position over there. I'm not going to force myself into the position here. If they kind of run back up maybe above this wick and this 5 minute can go above here, I'll probably take one in that area. But I'm also focused on how this 15-minute looks. And I think we could still slide down to the, you know, down into, 17,400 and lower. So no, can't hesitate right there. Like I said, on CFD, I grabbed it just because, like I said, that would be my third win on there this week. So I'm gonna be patient. I'm happy I'm still in the markets. That's one thing I could say too, is just like as a trader, if you have multiple accounts that you're trading, you don't have to force yourself to do anything. So I'll this right here, like I said, I'm not gonna force myself in this trade. Now, if we pump back up and I can get, I'm a better buyer than seller. So if I can get a really good buy position on that way down, I would take it. But if I can't, then I'm not gonna force it, because what can happen is my sell could end up going to exactly where I want on CFD. I take profit for the day and then I buy it back up for this, which is really kind of what I would anticipate to happen on a day like today. Taking a look over at the other two, their 1 hours on YM are going crazy. So I can anticipate like a pullback to rally sometime today. All right. So we're pushing down. This is irrelevant now because it's pretty much, ran away from the area that I would have taken it, which was like right in here inside that range and close to New York Open. So we'll be patient. Now the CFD position, I do want to mark up just really quick because I do have that position. So New York, and there's no difference in how I'm going to manage the trade. So it's, same thing. Okay, so New York Open is really good. When you flip it upside down, think of how far that buy could go. All right, you can kind of see. So we'll see how price plays, but we'll keep our focus here. Because I would like to see them slip back and run 17.5. That'd be cool. That'd be very interesting, especially if they can't break this 5 minute swing. But just think about how many people are stuck from overnight trading right in here. Right. So if they push that price down, all right, we can get something like that today. That's what I would like. Higher push off. And so you got to study these, 1 minute areas and decide where you want to place your stop in those positions. That would have been a really good one, just being honest, because I was going to take it from pretty much that 5 minute, 15-minute open down into this down candle for about 200 points. So, which that's probably what I'm still going to do on CFD, which looks really good. So let's continue to watch here. I do think that price is going to be bearish into the bigger part of the swing on the 15 and 5 today. So you see that first 5 minute close really quick from there, 8:30, 35. Sign of weakness. 5 minute. Five-minute bearish close. So we're just waiting on that next 5 minute close and that first 15-minute close. So, in that first 15 minutes, if everything is just, really dramatic to the downside, I'll definitely have my eyes peeled here for 17,300s today and see if there's a balance off that level potentially. But no, like I know better from last week is I don't need to force myself into any move, especially on futures. So still watching it, because like I said, this 5 minute area is still open. You still have these lows to this high. So this is what they've been doing the last few days and filling price and then continuing to rally out. So I'm gonna stay focused here. I'm gonna cut down some of my other one here. Okay, good. I'm in a good spot. So Just be patient. Not really looking at 1 minute other than for like factoring entries and stop losses. I'm really focused on these two over here. So I'll kind of do this already. Now those shorts look really good here on NQ, but when you look at a higher time frame, like I said, 17,300 is if they can wipe all that liquidity and hit the 17,350s as well, will be very interesting. Okay, so you want to have these levels marked, and if we do a no trade day on futures, that'll be cool. It's not a big deal. 17,350. So there's that half level. So I don't even care about the half level on this one yet. I care about the 400 level. So 17,400. And so now we're really gonna be able to see, should I attack these buys, right? And because we're playing this imbalance here, and then we have the end of the day. Let me make sure that end of the day is marked. All right, so that end of the day is marked. So now we just got to focus on what happens inside the 15 and 5 minute price here. Liquidity is sitting at that New York, so give me 1 second here. Partial down some of that positions. On the CFD, so now I'm going to focus on potentially, taking this to the upside. You see ES starting to show a lot of strength. You see YM that's already been strong. So now that they've done the 5 minute push, as they pull back, I'll look for entries here. So stop loss would be at this low, 17,435. Oh, 435. Take profits are going to be previous day high, 17,800s. We'll move it though. Okay. And so now what I want to watch is 5 minute price. And I would want, inefficiency fills. But if this can close higher here, then I'll probably play the tap and go to continue to wipe out the shorts. Okay, so I still have this position locked in here, just kind of waiting to see here what we're gonna get. Now looking at the other two, they're bullish, right? So like if this 5 minute can close here for the 45, and then we start to we can lock this candle in as a set low inside of a 5 minute, then it makes more sense to I think, play a buy position back to the upside. I'm targeting 17,800. Okay. So I like how that looks. I don't want to play when price is flying. I want to play when price is going up because it's already is a lower low, lower high, lower low. So really, you almost want it to go above New York, but I think the high of the day they're still open. And then you have ES printing bullish off the daily open on that 1 hour, and YM super bull. So my CFD I had partial, and then the rest of it came back to BE. So that's cool. So, for me at this point, we'll see how this 5 minute closes. And if it closes right like we're seeing here and it's breaking structure, anything that comes back down, I think is definitely a position to take to the upside. To the 17,800s, possibly. 17,680s. So just waiting on that close. Oof, that close isn't looking so great. Look at that 5 minute close. See how it closed actually lower? The bias might have to change, just being honest. Let me check my other prices here. Okay. So we're failing to break that New York Open. They could just yerk price to the downside now. Let me check the other two. Still being patient here on futures in that time. ESYM really strong on that 1 hour, 4 hour. So I think YM's gonna take that 38,300 highs. And they look like 5080 on the ES. So it's just wanting to see what we're gonna get here. Now, once this 5 minute confirms that it's breaking out of this area and 17,500 and closing above New York Open, if it can pull back, then I'm going to take my chances because I think that from that point, price will come into the 17 if it does, right? It may not. It may not even give you a chance off that 15.5 right now, which is okay too. It's part of the process. So remember, like I said, though, I'm a better buyer than seller. So the way that they're pushing back to daily open here makes me think that people think it's going to go higher, and then they may joystick them above New York Open here. So definitely will be watching this area as well. This last up candle, very manipulative type price here going on because you have the last 15-minute open, 5 minute little trap candle, and then you have your 1 minute candle. So I would definitely still be focused here. The only thing is that ES and YM are showing that strength. So that's kind of what gives you the confidence in what could happen. The price is back below New York Open, right? A lot of people play this tap and go like right here. That risk would be way too high for me. I'd rather wait. ES pushing 50-55, YM 38,200. So it's about to break that whole level. And we're kind of just, I think, absorbing here. So it's like I'll wait till the lower extremities to play because I don't want, to me, this is a trap candle. So, with that type of move right there on the 15 and 5, that could be it. That could actually be the shorts. So if price comes back up and touches New York Open again, I want to know the high on this market, which is 17,517. And I would probably end up trying to short that if it comes back up. So stop loss would be the high on this market here, 17,517. Yeah, because they came and tapped my CFD position, so I kind of have my stop loss tight. 17,517, and then let's see here. Take profits are would be like the 17.2s. I should do 150s here for now. So now if price can rally back up into above New York Open before taking the lows, which I don't think it's going to do that because it rejected so nice. We'll see here. When you look at the 1 hours across the board, it just seems like they're not going to go higher on NQ. So that's why I'm going to look to play this up if I can. So I'm not going to chase though. I'll wait for price to go back above New York here. People on Top Step are looking for plays on NQ to 17.6. So now I'm really starting to think that this sell might be in. I'm really starting to think now because YM still bullish, 38, 165, and then we're still around that daily open on ES 50-50. So to me, like I said, if I was looking at this as just a buy, this looks really good, but I'd rather that pull back to this whole level here to New York Open. But if it just falls off, it's not going to give people a chance. That makes sense. So either way, a little bit of hesitation, but might end up being a no trade day here on futures. Lower low, lower high, push. Because I hesitated at the New York Open, I'd say. But that's a good thing because if I take that order, they come and rip it. So now if they can come back above one more time, then I definitely would be back almost on the same price level. with a better risk. So when you look at all the 15s, they're starting to fail that daily open now on ES, engulfing at the 50-50 half levels. So, to me, it's like, damn, those are probably open. Or those shorts are probably rocking now because when you look at the 15-minute last step candle, right, which was here the day, and we'd already pretty much made that move up all day or overnight. So they've really held that level really nicely and intact and good price action. So now, like I said, if they can just run back up above New York one more time, I think my risk could be really nice, counting down here. So somewhere in here, New York Open is 95. So yeah, that'd be nice, but no big deal. Wouldn't want to buy really here because I still think price could extend down on you, right, on a 15-5 to below 17.4. So if it takes this low here and takes 17.4, I wouldn't even chase the short anymore at that point because that's too much liquidity already gone. Now looking at the other two, like I said, the reason why I'm starting to look for this probably to come back up and get that type of entry is because, or play the 17.5 is because the other two are really bearish, but I think I might have missed it. Just being honest. Yeah, I might have just missed that one. Mm-hmm. So let's be patient. A lot of people probably getting chopped up. It's Friday, but price action is showing me, like I said, if we get this 15-minute close below daily open on ES, we're already way below daily and New York Open on NQ. I would love for price to push back up one more time, and I'll try that trade. It's a little bit more high probable. Like I said, I'm a better buyer than I am seller, so coming back into my price level looks like something I like. We'll see. Let me get my thing over here ready too. Okay. So that 1 hour price kind of makes me like, they're still holding that structure. But in 6 minutes, if we're closing below, I'd say 17.5, then anything selling right below that would probably be okay. So I'll probably wait for this New York Open push, and then I'm gonna look to short that. What's my stop loss here? Stop loss is 17.517. So just need to be at or above or around New York Open. Now you are starting to see a little bit of bullish price action off that 15 and 1 hour on ES. Like it can go a little bit higher though. And then we are holding that 15 1 hour structure on NQ. So it's going to be a little difficult to see what we get. But I think we're going to get down today at some point. So I'm going to play that position if I can. The 54 close is kind of locking in here. 5 minutes, very confusing type price. So that's why I said you're gonna have to like kind of frame it up off of a point of interest if possible. And then damn YM is pushing again. So she does her own thing. I really just focused on what ES and NQ are doing together. And on that 15-minute, they're really diverging. You have higher highs basically being created on ES, and we're still printing below 17,500 here on NQ. So Still just watching here. I'm just waiting for opening price theory, right? I want to get as close as I can to New York Open or the open of that candle of the force up. If it takes off and just rallies lower, then I'll just end up missing the move. Taking a look really quick while I have a chance. I'm gonna look at dollar. Now it looks like they're sinking again. Salty. Dollar's just kind of sitting in that area, that 105.95. So nothing really there. Yeah, so let's see where these hours close because that's going to be key, I think, when it comes to futures here. Like I said, like if I was buying this, I would be very excited right now with that big push and then the push away from New York. So we'll see. I just think the levels are already kind of doing their thing, but they're being manipulative here. Because these could buy up as well. If you're looking at that 15 on the far left, we haven't really broke lower than London Open. So, and then you have ES, like I said, on the 15 closing higher high and above daily open. So, be patient here. 9 a.m. is usually a big crucial time. So, I'm looking for fast moves into those areas. 1 hour YM is crushing. They were 38 all the way up to 38.2. So that looks really good. Let's see if we can be patient today. Oh, I was like, why is it? Okay, let me make sure I put the right price in. 17, 17, 5 months. Okay, yeah, that's right, that's right. So basically, what I'm looking at here is just, if they're gonna go lower or what they're gonna do. They're still indecisive right now. 15-minute close, 1 hour close here in about a minute, minute 30 seconds. So very, very manipulative price here of what's going on. Look at just the 5 here by itself. And yeah, I see price is so scrunched that just gotta be patient. I want the reclap on CFD too, because I got a small partial in there, but I didn't get to really get what I wanted there. Just being patient. So 50 seconds left. Looks like we're gonna get that 15-minute close, lower low, that 1 hour close, lower on NQ, and then we're showing strength here still on ES, that 50-50 level. So let's see if it starts to break down or what happens here. But this is starting to break down to me. Like no matter what, if you're looking at like a 5-minute perspective and you're trying to buy, like I'm a better buyer than seller, that would look good to me. I can already see my targets at 17,360s and stuff. So it really just comes down to what they want to do. But I only want that move if it was to go above or close to that New York Open. So let's see where these close at here for this hour. We exit this 5-minute area, I could always change my bias in a sense. We did have the 15-minute close with some strength there on the ES. So the 1 hours are just looking strong at that daily open. So still getting weakness on here on the 15 and 5. It's just crushing to the downside. So ever since that force up at New York that took people out, I think that trade, that area has been pretty instrumental. So that 15-minute on ES is still printing right above daily open with the fast push-up candle. So we shall see. There's not really any inefficiencies. There's pretty clean, price to the downside right now. So there's nothing for them to just really push up and fill except this area right here. So I will be managing and understanding that because if I was buying this, like I said, these are great 5-minute pushes to the upside. So I want that New York Open be 95. That'd be really nice. So I'm gonna stay focused here. You are seeing 1 hour strength on ES, 1 hour strength on YM. So we'll see if this is worth it or not here. We did get the 1 hour close lower low than 17,500 whole level on NQ though. So I do think if we can pump up one good time to that New York Open area, I'm definitely going to look to lock that in with my stop at the high. Looking for like a 20-point risk. That'll probably be it for me. I like how it's building up and just taking a while. So between now and 9:15, if we can get there, then great. If not, then 5-minute lower low, lower high. We're already making, we start making more lower lows here on the 5, then I would say don't chase it. I would be then thinking, okay, let's look around 17.3 later in the day, like PM session a little bit more, and look for the bounce plays after the sells work. But as of right now, I mean, we're just kind of waiting. So I'm gonna highlight this, and if we end up getting the trade, then we'll look for it. I already have it ready. As of right now, I'm not forcing my way into anything. And then still looking at YM. YM's at a really interesting area on that 1 hour, 38, 188 inside the 1 hour last up candle. And then when you look at ES, it looks really strong to continue. So it's just, but it still hasn't moved anywhere. So, one slight push up into here, and that would be a chance. But we go lower low first. I wouldn't want to do it, honestly, at that point. As we attack the 50% equilibrium of the swing, right? So swing low to swing high, as we attack like this area here, or even 17.4, it becomes less likely, for the pullbacks to work out, I think. Or we just watch it. I like how the 15-minute price looks on ES, right? How they're starting to kind of fail that 50-50, that daily open. Now they can print below 50.47, right? 50.44s on a 15.5, then they may go lower. So same thing here. If this 15 can rally back up, this 5-minute can rally back up in the point of interest, that's going to give me the idea to take that trade to get to 17.3, or at least 17.350s. So we mark that really quick as a good area. Potential if they can get there. 17.350. So just being patient. If it falls off a cliff right here, that's fine. Because originally I had the short idea, so. But I think that area right here, touching that 5-minute open at 1 minute was just ridiculous fire. And if you look at ES and that 15, it's starting to break now below daily open. So really for me, like I said, the only way to factor in a position if we're going to fall off a cliff today is to find a position on those pullbacks back in the point of interest today, because they're manipulating like crazy. And then that 4 hour makes it very difficult because it kind of shows me that they're absorbing and pushing lower to go get more orders and go higher eventually. So just gonna have to be patient here. Kind of still waiting on this. But every time when you start looking at the line graph, you can see the real price here. It's, unless we push up very quickly into that area, then it's irrelevant. As soon as we close a 5-minute candle, honestly, lower than this area, that trade becomes irrelevant because it looks too good. So let me be focused over here really quick because ES is kind of behind it. But I just can't tell. They're still hovering that daily open. Mm. Still looking good, right? Because if we don't break that 5 minute, like I said, then I start to gear up for this trade, right? At New York Open or above with the stop loss at that high. Because if they slip this high, most likely they go to the daily open. All right, so I want to know that high again, which I already know it. All right. Take profits already set too, which are going to be 220s. Let's just put two for right now. Now, if price can rally back up into that my point of interest, then I will take that trade. Just because the other two aren't really showing me enough yet to go higher. And we've already had a strong 1 hour close lower here. Just looking for a tap. Make sure I can see this 5 minute too. Let me see what they're doing over here too. Okay. Now they still are holding the 5 minute structure. That's really important as well because when you think about it, you have this is your low, this is your high. So we're still in that 5 minute swing, and the Fibonacci would be, somewhat like this. Right. So they're testing those areas. So we just want to see them. We want to see what they're going to do here on price action wise. But overall, like, I mean, this could be a huge extension down to 350. So hopefully that will give a move back first. And we're still at the same spot, ES 15 minutes. Kind of looks like the crown's forming at that daily open. So, any slips of daily open, like closures below, and there might be a framework of position there. The hour time frame is very manipulative. The only one that's really just going crazy, I mean, it's went 300 points in this session almost, is YM. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, so it's just pushing down to me. Like if this was a buy position, I would already be like if I was in this, I would be grateful to be in on 15 and 5. Because like I said, if you flip this market upside down, you look at just this. We came up, we played that daily higher high, higher low, and we're extending, and now we're attacking the 17,400 players. So today, once we attack these wicks right here, 17,350, 17,400, there may be a flip side position because we're coming into the lower of the range for the PM session possibly. So that's why I'm just being patient. It would have been very difficult for me to even find a position, I would think, in a 5 minute time frame like this. So because I like to see like certain price action do certain things. So they're still fighting this low. If you can tell right here, this is actually a higher low forming. So if this could rally back up, there still is a chance that they'll give a short position out on this. But I would say, like I said, that 15 minute looks more bearish than anything. And then I'm starting to look at ES a lot more right now. And I think ES and that 15.5 1 hour is looking fire to the downside with that daily open in confluence. So we might end up taking one over here on that. Let me see here. Okay, I'm just watching it. But I do like how ES looks. I do want to bring that up really quick here. So the way the crown's forming, we've already got the push away from whole level, and then this is starting to, come into its own, right? So if this can fail this level, that I'm a better buyer than I am seller. I want to play the right side of the V. So if price can rally up, come back down, I can use stop loss lows. That could look really good because of how it's starting to form. So I damn near want to take that one, to be honest, because trying to factor into this is a little bit harder. So what I'll do here is I'll go down one, right? And then we can look at it like this. And so like if you flip it, right, I'm a better buyer. So I want to be buying, I want to be selling above daily open, right? So I want to be buying above it. So maybe at this level, this would be, how far is that risk? That'd be crazy. That's only 10 points to the highs. So like I said, I'm not going to chase it, but I'm just kind of giving the idea. But with E-mini here, in Q, I think this is it. Like I don't think I'm gonna end up taking a trade now in futures. Unless I see, like I said, how this plays for the PM, I might have to wait. But it's beautiful how it's setting up on 15-minute here with ES. So now they're getting ready to get that lower low close. So now this is step 6 of that mitigation. Now you're getting ready to play, right? Maybe you already have your position, so you want to see the close and the pullback, and that'll really make you want to play. But let's be patient here. Somebody modified a trip on the rental. Okay, be patient. I feel like my entry is still coming on NQ. Before they escape, right, the 15 5-minute area of this, right, when you flip it upside down, they may pull back and test, New York Open or something one more time, or 17.5s or 17.480s. And that would be my bet to basically be able to possibly factor in here. Taking a look at the 1 hour time frames, like I said, we're in a great area for YM to possibly short. ES is failing daily open, and we've already failed the daily open on NQ. So we don't see anything here by like 9:15. Like I said, I'll kind of fall back. Just because a no trade day is just as good as a win almost. Yeah, I just like how the crown formed on 15.5 1 minute ES. And you have plenty of time to wait for this stuff to happen. So, and we are about to get that 5-minute candle here. So this 5-minute open for 9:15 is about to close, and it's still going pretty bearish. So just free falling. Be patient here. The way it's testing this London open area is pretty scary, but it's where it's at on the swing of the move. I wouldn't trust it to buy here. I'd only want to buy below the 17,350s. So even though we may miss some of these shorts today, I think on a 4-hour, 1 hour, as this sinks down for NQ 17,350, 17,300s, that price is going to do what it always does and end up bouncing today to go higher. But we have been in a bearish market, and we have been getting quite a bit of sells. So just being patient though, keep my mind right. When I look at I just want to bring this over too, because I am looking at higher time frames all the time. We had that sweet bounce off that 2024 open for NQ. We had a nice daily bounce off that 5,000 level here. So no matter what they're doing, at the end of the day, right, they're already showing the bullish day and maybe running up on YM. So we just have to be patient, I feel like, and there's gonna come a buy position that we're going to want to take to swing. And that could be on CFD. We don't know. But really quick, I want to point this out. You've got the lower low now, right? I'm a better buyer than I am seller. You've got the lower low. If price pulls back to the open, right, you're able to frame your risk right here or here. So if you framed it off of this high to New York open, you're looking at like a 6-7 point risk. And if you do it from the highs to New York open, you're looking at a 10-point risk. So B plus setup, I think, with ES on 10-point risk, A plus setup on 5-point risk. But that one looks pretty good. To possibly fall there. So let me go back to here. And so now when you look at price action, confirmations, we have made the lower low. So you could anticipate maybe that rally back up, but it's definitely, guys. I mean, that's fallen off. And now you're probably getting that ES to slide as well. And YM's respecting 38,200 pretty well. So just be patient. There's going to be an opportunity, I feel like, at some point, but we don't have to force it, but there's going to be something. But I really think that, if I had to pick one right now, is the best one, just because you have the exact stuff you want to see when it comes to 15 and 5. You have the structure break, and now it's playing. If it plays back up, you have a 10-point risk to the top. So, it's just, yeah. Let me pull up. The price, as you can tell, has failed to break these levels, so it's still holding up at the highs today. So this is exactly what I want to see. Like I said, this is that time of pullback. I think ES just looks the best, to be honest. Like if you're playing the concepts, you got the break lower, on the 15, anything that taps that daily open would be fire. So, and same with this though, right? For me as a buyer, if I didn't get a chance to buy and now price is pulling back before it took this low here, if it can pull back to the areas, yeah, I want that. And I want to take there, and I want to get, be taking profits in there if possible. I mean, this could be it. London open tap could be it. You could be taking a position and putting your risk here as well for about 15 points. But that's just a higher probability or a lower probability setup to me. But when you look at price action, we're gonna focus on like 15.5. We did get a lower low break of structure here, so that break of structure. And then if it closes that way, then we just want to do this and kind of confirm that price is in fact bearish from this area now. Because of the line graph, we want to know that, right? And so now we're starting to attack the low of the day. Trading is buy low, sell high, right? So we're attacking the low of the day. And the 50, so we want to see the 50%. We want to know the low of the day and like the equilibrium, right? So like we're in that area. So if we can't break 17,400 here, I might find a position to take out these shorts. All right, but I'm looking at this imbalance fill. I'm looking at, a lot of different things here, but sometimes you get stuck looking at, one thing, and then a position that, you can do a 1 to 3 does arise. So I'm gonna stay focused here. Higher time frame, like 1 hour, 4 hour, I could see them, going higher. It's just manipulating here on smaller time frames. But when you look at like a 4 hour of all of them, you can kind of see we're kind of testing and absorbing the area. We already broke higher high on a yes, and now we're just testing this down candle in a sense. We broke structure almost here. So it's just like one day, if we can get back above this daily open, it's only going to come from a super lower extremity buy, I would think, if that ever worked out. Let me see the dailies here again too. So they're kind of dealing with that bounce, but everything's pushing to me. I'm not gonna force anything, as now we've been on stream for about an hour, and I would say like those moves definitely happened right inside of there. I'm glad I didn't honestly take the short here on futures, because I probably would have left my risk right here and would have experienced a small loss. And when price came back down here and then was waiting for it to pull back, I'm glad I didn't just want to like decide to get in here just because I still think at the end of the day, like once we take this liquidity here, there's going to be a nice little flush of CETO in this area. And as we get closer and closer to, like I said, the Fibonacci retracement of the day, we want to know where the biggest area of Fibonacci is. So To me, they just took that London low. That's just an internal liquidity based off the line graph, right? And so now if they continue down to the 17,350s, we're pretty much at equilibrium of the day. And then you can anticipate possibly a bounce in that area to go take out shorts from New York. Why am I saying that? Because if I was buying this right now and price failed to go, keep going higher, eventually I'd be looking for it to break down to come back and attack my order. And so be patient. He just said something about major tilt, and that's usually when I to the downside, and that's usually when the price flips. So I'm gonna definitely be on my P's and Q's here today. ES, really good. 50-40. It's all the way down to almost 50-30 on that 15-minute candle, so that's pretty good. I'll probably give them to like 10-20. If I don't see anything that's just super clear by 10-20, then I'll probably call it one. So right now, like I said, I don't see anything but bearish since that break of structure. So I'm really watching 15-5 price. If this 5-minute can close back above 17.4, I would think they may start attacking that New York shorts. But if not, then like I said, it'll be like yesterday. And if you don't get the signal, it'll just sell off. But if you look at the 1 hours, we're in an area of 17-50 is a good equilibrium area for us to get a bounce. And then anywhere below 50-21 and between 50-10, I would say on ES is very similar in that 1 hour, 50% down candle of 5,000. So I'm just watching here. So I haven't taken any trades today on futures so far. Really, really watching this price here at 17,400 and see what kind of 5-minute closes we get here. Because like I said, if I was in a buy position and price didn't go ahead and extend to the 17,350 and take out these wicks, I would be questionable about, price kind of pulling back after going lower low. As of right now, you're getting, pushes away from that 17,400 level pretty good, so it's just like all it really comes down to is this 5-minute open. So the 5-minute opens and closes, right? So if they're opening and closing bearish, then they're going to continue that path. And you don't want to get in the way of that path. I still think there's going to be a PM session buy today, guys. I don't know why I'm thinking it, but I feel that for some reason 50-50. Okay. ES looks really good from that area I was looking at. Right. So if you're looking at ES, I think that the crown was forming, right? 50-50. And so if you're in now, you could anticipate some kind of mitigation, right? But understand where the other two are at. This one's NQ is way farther along in its price action. Right. If you think about it, it's we're below London and below New York. They're not even close to London yet here. So this I think is absorbing orders, and we're gonna stay focused for transitional type plays because I think that we can end up finding a bounce play that takes out the shorts today. Now it's just about letting them flush out people though on the 15-5 and that signal really present. It's Friday. We don't want to give back to the markets. We want to, take one trade type situation, maybe two at max. So between 5,000 and 5,050 on ES is very interesting, that 5,015 area. But those 1 hour rejections ever since, we've had New York have been pretty, drawing people into shorts. So either they're going to slow and work out and just body people throughout the day, or we'll get a little bit of something here in the afternoon. Now and it's perfect how if you look at the 1 hour on all three, how you're getting the 50-50 rejection, the 17,500 rejection, and the 38,200 on YM. So I'm gonna pull that over really quick actually for the recording. Is when you're watching all three, right? You're getting that push in the 1 hour from these psychological numbers, and then the right location here for YM. They swept the liquidity, fast up candle, price rallies down, and now they're back to 32, and it's doing this. So the open of this ES candle and the 50%, I'd say like somewhere in that 50-10 area, or maybe even lower, like right here. They can continue to force into this candle that was created on April 18th. This is a real defining candle, I think, today, because they're getting people just to randomly sell, start in New York, and then they drag them down. They never take profits, and then by the PM, we start to build our case up potentially. But we'll be focused here. Like I said, we'll only take this position if we can, get some kind of signal or something here that can, or get good framework in the area. So I try not to only wait for 5 minute engulfings or excuse me, 1 minute engulfings. But it depends on how the 5 minute, 1 minute price push together. So we are in a good spot here. We are at a half level, so we'll see what happens. We are at the equilibrium of the day. I'd like to see it slip out a little bit. Because at this point, when you think about opening and closures of candles, this 15-minute candle going into 9:30, this 15-minute candle has opened and is getting ready to close bearish, confirming more signs of weakness. So ES looks really good here on that 15-minute. Right. So if you took an entry, like I was saying, from that daily open, your risk being at the high of the structure, you had a 10-point risk. And currently you're at like a 1-to-1. Right here, you're at like a what is that? So yeah, it's a 10-point risk. So you got a 1-to-2 here, 1-to-3, right? 1-to-5, all in these areas. So yeah, I mean that's I mean I'm a better buyer than I'm a seller, right? And I count up from my stop loss low to the point of interest. That's a great point of interest, 10-point risk. And if you go all the way back to the last down candle of this swing, that's a 1-to-7 R. So a little frustrated, a little salty because I hesitated on my position to take here today. But in a sense, I'm not, because like I said, I would have took it like right in here, and then price would have rallied back up. So I still think if I just be patient, I stay open to opportunity, that I will be able to find a position potentially. But these are the areas where we're going to see. They just swept down. If my buy would have, hit this area, I'd have been parceling, some back. So this is really good to see right here. And being 9:30, I like the time. So let me watch this over here. So I may take an attempt here to go higher here. Let's see. You have the low 17,341. Is that correct? Let me make sure one more time. 17,341. Yeah, so I just want to look at this. 17,341. Take profits are going to be basically 17.6 and higher. Okay. Now this looks really good. I like how this is playing. So if it comes back down into that area, oh, come on. I will probably play that position, honestly, to the upside. Let me see here really quick. Okay. So I did play it over here, so I'm not gonna force it into it. But like now, what I'd like to see is if they have an inefficiency, and then we have the 5-minute brewing up, right? And we have the 15-minute doing what we like. So now if they can come back into this area, then I really will like the trade. Okay. So now I really want to see, like I said, an inefficiency fill. And I'm basically trying to get, 50% of this 5 minute down candle, if possible. So it can run off. I'm not worried about that. It can run off right here, but now as it pushes back down into this area, I need to be focused. So that's cool. I actually wanted to do that. I have the CFD position. So I just need to focus here now because I like to wait for the 5 minute signals here on futures. I'm a little bit more aggressive on the CFD. And just to kind of look at that price because we do have time. It's doing what we want to see. That CFD price was great. I mean, it capitulated and then started taking off. So took the lows just like it did on here on NQ. Um, so what would make me more confident? Like I said, 5 minute close, higher here, going into 10:30. 5 minute close higher, and then I'd love to play using this as my risk. So my risk would end up being the low on this candle is 341 is where I have it. So now if this 5 minute doesn't close at least stronger, it's a little bit more aggressive to me to take a trade like that. Okay, so just being patient here. YM still not showing any signs of weakness at that 38.2. So, could be hesitating a little bit here, but I'd like it to slip a little bit lower to make that risk more favorable down to the lows. So where would I really want it? I really would want like 360s, right? So about 17 points away. Even 50%. I wouldn't want 66, but I like 3, 6, or 9 numbers. So somewhere in here, 59 would be 59 would be pretty fire to grab, but let's be patient here. And then CFD position, I'm just targeting the highs. I'm out of there if it gets there today on there. Don't, not gonna panic here. It's, I want to see the 5 minute confirmation. Then I'd really want to see that 5 minute and 1 minute and 30 some seconds closing higher than 17.4. And then every pullbacks down would probably be a little bit better of a move for me. I just think at this time of day, you're getting a 1 hour 50% play off that 17,350. So anything in between 17,350 now and that 17,360, I think is going to be a good trade to the upside. Okay, so 1 minute before it closes here. So I want to be buying when the market's crashing and I want to be selling when it's taking off. So I like how it's pushing, right? So now I want to see how this is going to push. 382s, 383s. I don't like those prices. I want like 60s, somewhere in the 60s, like 63, somewhere in there. Because otherwise, like I said, they could just fall off a cliff. ES will just drop to the 50-15 levels very quickly, and it'd be pointless to take a trade, right? But if we can get this to, go back to these areas we like we're talking about, we're getting kind of close here. Which that could be it, to be honest, guys. The 79s, they might kind of be aggressive there. I'll wait though. No big deal. Want that close above that line. They close above that line, they go back anymore, I'd like it. So that close wasn't higher, but it is a good close. So now any fills down could work out, I think, personally, especially if I have a 1 hour looks. So now you can't hesitate when it comes into the inefficiency and to the open of the candle, which is going to be the open of the candle is 17,358. That's going to give me the best risk if I can get 58 right here at this number. So I can't hesitate when it's there. About 10 more points would be nice. Just a little bit more. I like how that price looks, to be honest. So let me see what that would be on the 1 hour. I like the 1 hour positioning too. I do want to buy it when it's pushing a little bit lower, so I'll be patient a little bit more. I want it a little bit lower if I'm going to take it. I don't want to have to. I want it to align on that 1 minute as well in that open. But sometimes they just feel the inefficiencies. But we still have a lot of room in that 15 and 1 hour, I think, to go possibly too. So we should be careful. And I'll watch how this 5 minute closes. Because this is not like in the first 15 minutes of the hour or anything. But I do like the price action here. And then ES is still showing weakness on that 15, and then we're getting weakness on that 38,200 level. So don't want to hesitate if they do push down to the level that I want. And get a reaction off that level. It's playing the 5 minute perfect, and now it's just all about how this 1 minute's going to play at 17,350 and inside that down candle. I want to see a reaction, then the candle come right back down to that area. Because otherwise, like I said, it's not so great. Okay, just being patient here. I like the area. Like I said, we'll see the 5 minute close. See if it's like a transitional play or if they're just going to break lower low. Okay, so that is more, like I said, what was it at? 57s? I like this area, guys. So I'll attempt this area. This will be the one area. I wanted to get right in the open, but I do see it kind of showing some signs of strength. So if they could just, 341s from the entry, 61, that's 51, that's a 20-point risk. That's exactly what I want to see. And then targeting, just the high of the day, that 17,600 level would be really nice. So we'll see how it plays out. It might be a little early. The 5 minute could go lower first, and then it could go to 17.3, and that'll be cool too. But they are pretty bearish. So unless there's a lot of volume came in, it'll just go lower to 17.3. So just gotta be patient and see what they want to do here. So if they can rally back above 17.4, before they go lower here, then that would be a pretty good sign. They may go higher. But the 15 and stuff, like I said, I think we're gonna go lower to the lower extremities, but we'll see. I just have a good feeling, like I said, the 1 hour, this is a 50% entry. So this could be the area where price is finally done, like pushing lower. And we could end up going back in the point of interest. So we can get above 17.4. Like I said, I think we have a good chance of getting back to New York open sellers. But just being patient. Because like I said, I'm ES looks really bearish still in the 15 and looks like it can go to 50-15 or 50-10 instead. So It really just depends on what they want to do here. And what we're focused on here is the 5 minute bounce off the 17,350. Because if we can get in 3 minutes and 57 seconds, a strong close stronger, then we can kind of anticipate that those last 15 minutes going into 10, we might get some buyer volume to come in going into 10 a.m. possibly. But we're not really showing any signs of that right now. We're not breaking the 17,350, but I think a good 5 minute push up, which is not showing that, would be potential. But that 5 minute has already printed a lower low. So if it goes lower low one more time, then I would only wait for 17.3. What's that, 260? Okay, cool. Five minutes not looking too hot here. Like I said, unless we close closer back to 17,400, then I don't think that this would work out. But they did sweep that internal liquidity at the 17,350s. They have been selling off quite a bit, so they do have the opportunity to possibly rally these up. Dakota just added to his longs. And he's actually longing NQ right now, so I think we might have a pretty good position in our hands. 59 would have been the better, but they gave me 361, which I'm okay with that. Still got a 20-point risk on our hands. So if we can get a 5 minute transition now, like a 5 minute higher high, to me, that would start showing like going into the PM session today that we might actually have a snipe. Let's see if we got it. One shot to kill. So still holding the CFD position as well. Taking a look at all three of them here really quick so we can kind of see the 15s. We are kind of bouncing off that down candle right here at 50-30, and we're still very bullish on YM. So we'll see what they want to do here. Like I said, price action wise, I'm a better buyer than seller. So when you look at the price here, it's like if we can extend the 17.4, I'll probably protect this day trade, right? Because it is a pretty good trade. If I had the open exactly, I'd probably just move my wrist to here, right? Because my wrist is already here. So once we break the structure here, I'll probably go ahead and move that wrist just up to the 34s, right? So I'm at 34.41. I'll probably move it up 5 points, but pretty fire entry, I would say, as of right now. Maybe the trade gods are just on my side today. I don't know, but that's a pretty fire one. So as of right now, we don't want to get excited, right? This is just part of the process. But if this 5 minute can close in 18 seconds, higher high, that shows me a sign of strength, and I'm getting a 1 minute break of structure. And then I got to think, where's the money, right? My good mentor, Jordan Morgan, always says, where's the money? Well, people played the New York Open, right? So all the money is sitting right at the stop loss of this wick, I believe, personally. Okay. So now you've gotten a 5 minute break of structure. So what do? You probably want to trail that risk, right? So let me go ahead and do this really quick to kind of show you guys what we're doing here. All right, we're showing signs of strength here, and then we can go ahead and reduce that risk down as well. Guys, we do this every day. This is our system, so this is what we do. Okay, so now, like I said, you could reduce it or leave it where it's at. Me personally, I'm gonna reduce down just to that much, nothing crazy, just a little bit. And then when I actually get a legit, when I'm looking at the swing of a move now, and I'm looking at the sell side, right, for my buys, when I get to that 50, I need to be break even, right? I don't need to accept any more risk once I'm at, 17,440s and higher, right? Because that's a beautiful 15-minute position, I think personally, and a beautiful 1 hour positioning, right? Inside that 50% that last down candle. So we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good here. Pretty good. Really, really good. I'm excited. Let's go. Let's go. Big bullish market day. Let's ride in the sunset. Okay. So if you like, you don't have to risk anything depending on your entry, right? If you're inside the, I'd say the 1 minute area like this, and anywhere in this area here, you're safe to be a break even type of trade, right? Anything above that, you're not. Just it is what it is, right? So now we're looking for this is a 25. What the heck? I was like, what? So now what we're looking for in this 15 is for price to close higher than 17,400 and start breaking that break of structure because it could just fall off a cliff. But now you don't want to look at this too much. You've already secured your risk. You're wanting to see 5 minute price action stay in your favor, higher open, higher close. So what are you looking for? You're just looking for that candle right there to continue bullish and the next candle to open bullish, right? And then when you look at it from this perspective, you have, all you have is a high of the day liquidity and then New York liquidity. So if you can even break out of that high of the day, right, that's going to be fire. And then look at all this liquidity from the previous day that they set up as well. So hopefully we can get that. Looks really good here on that 1 minute price. That positioning when that location was pretty damn fire. So, and obviously you guys have been here live with me, so we've only took one trade. So let's get it. Let me see where I'm at for today. On here. Okay. Sorry guys, I was looking at a couple things. So we want to see that price continue, right? We don't want to see that 5 minute really go lower. Because then it's going to make us where we have to secure this position. So having this stop at the low, I'm willing to, 61 minus 45. What is that? So 51 be 10. It's about 15-point risk. I'm willing to accept that. You know what I mean? For the day, because it's either win or go home. You might hear a loud thing from Tradeovate because I got to log back in, so it might say some crazy shit here in a second. So ES is having a hard time in that 15-minute imbalance as well, and YM's still bullish. So right now, I think we may have a really good trade on our hands here on NQ. Today, my focus is going to be, on the 5 minute, waiting for that 5 minute to ever break structure, and then to just trail my risk, right? Let me see what I ended up doing today over here. Okay, 1919. So I need to secure some bag or what? I'm gonna hold. Okay, so 5 minute price looks really good. So I think we have a really good, trade on our hands, big W pattern, right? I was starting to see it before it even formed, and that's why I like to play those. So if we can continue to get this, like I said, to go higher, then we will be in a good trade today. 5 minute close there, 950. Now you got another higher open, higher close. So now what do you want to see next? You don't want to focus on the 1 minute. That's for noobs. All right, noobs are focused on the 1 minute right now. You're focused on 5 minute opens and 5 minute closes and 15-minute opens and 15-minute closes. So every time you get one of those and you look at the line graph, you're attacking here, 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 and here. Okay, we're up about $1,000 on the day. That's not bad. We're risking 400, so 4 times 3 is 12. So we're up almost about a 1 to 3 risk reward, which is good. All right, that could be your day, So hopefully this can continue, right, to 5-minute close higher. I really like the 1 hour positioning if this can work. So, if it comes back down, it comes back down. It is what it is. I want to see price close back in that range where it broke structure. If we can get that and getting back up into 17, let's just go ahead and mark this really quick. We can get into the 17,450s. That's going to be a good area, right? 17,450. If now, like I said, that's if. Right now, we're just kind of playing the game and seeing. I'm going to move this out of the way because we're watching that exact candle right there. Now you can get one 5-minute down candle, but you don't want more than one in a range if you're in a bullish market. Like yesterday, I got, I left money on the table because I let one candle fake me out. So today I'd rather just watch, maybe I'll move my risk to break even or I accept the risk today. But once price moves up above 17,450, I'll be break even. Because like I said, our average risk is 400. 4 times 5 is 2,000. So 1 to 5 risk reward would be us getting from 361s up to 461. That's really getting close already. So watching this 5-minute price, just want to see what they're going to do. Took a little partial on my CFD one. Took it like $2 off. Left $2 on, and we'll let her see what she does. Now that balance, like I said on the other two, the 1 hours are still looking like they're in bullish price action. So that's why I'm not I'm waiting. This is like a Friday type situation. We close back in the range in this 15-minute and above whole level, good chance. If our 5 and 15s can't do what they, the bullish signals, then we're not going to get there. But I do think we have a good chance. I'm going to put an alert here as like a really good spot to for sure have secured over our pretty much daily goal. So that would be nice. So just be patient here. So still watching the price. We're kind of just sitting here watching 15 and 5. We want to see that close above the whole level here in 25 seconds. We want to see that 15-minute and 5 minutes, right, for 10 a.m. close strong. And then I'd really like to see the 1 hour closing above London Open, right? So price closing above 17,426 on that 1 hour will show me that throughout the rest of this day that we have a higher chance on that 4 hour, 1 hour, possibly now after the pullback to potentially make our way to the upside, right? Potentially. So there's that 5-minute open. Wasn't as great indecision candle. So if this next one just opens with a lot of volume, that would up to 17,450s, that'll be a pretty good day. And for me, like I said, I'm looking for like 17,460s, 17,480s potentially if we can get there. And I don't want to see pretty much at this moment. It's not about what I want to see, but what we're trying to see price action wise is price to hold that 17,400 whole level. If it can hold that level right there, then we're going to be able to, I think, go up to the next level, which is 17,450. So the way it's kind of, that break of structure area where it broke out, when you think about it like this, as like a better buy, right? It's kind of like, you know, it's like they gotta close, they gotta keep going, right? They got to get to 17.3. They're gonna have to, they would have to, start closing bearish, which right now we're getting the signs that we want to see. So that's not so bad. Give me one second. So I don't like how that price looks, but I think they're just testing that area. I like my risk placement. I'm going to leave it there. But if it continues lower now, kind of like I said on ES, if it went back above 50.40 and it couldn't break and get closer to that daily open, doesn't look as good. They could go to the lower extremities of the range. So I'll be patient here. My focus is really on this 5-minute candle here, right? And how we're trading into this area. Okay. All those are protected. Yeah. Okay, so everything on CFD is protected. I'm just here. Okay. So, like I said, them not closing above that break of structure line is very, you know what I mean? But if we can hold this 5-minute area, and close back above 17.4, we have a good chance, I still think, to go. What line is this? I'm gonna move this line, but it's just basically me identifying the open of that candle here. And you're starting to see weakness on YM at the 38.2, and you're not seeing too much strength at that 50.40 level, but it's still kind of holding 15 strength on ES and NQ. So we'll see here. We'll see with this 15-minute close, this 1 hour close here. Got about 1 minute left before that close, so let's see. Today, like I said, if we can push up from 17.360s where we got our entry into 17.460s, 17.480s, I'll probably call it a day here in futures, and I'll manage the CFD positions to the high of the day. So I don't like how they're rejecting the 17.4 level, and I don't like how the 15 is printing right now. Very manipulative here. But let's see how this 5-minute closes outside of this box. So I really need to make it condensed here. If it closes outside of that box, that's a good sign that they may want to push it, but they maybe want to fill this inefficiency as well. So, this first part of the open, if it doesn't just kind of fill that inefficiency and turn up, then they'll probably go lower for the day. We'll see though. That's pushing pretty, good into that 15 or 5-minute area. I don't like how that price is turning over, I will say, especially on that 15, because they might want to go try 17.3 and wait till later today to do it, unfortunately. So we'll see. 15-minute ES looks pretty bearish too, though. So they're kind of just all in this trapped area on the 1 hour 15. So I just wanted to be patient here. 17,450s, we push above that into like, you know, if we're over 100 plus points in profit today, I'll probably pull it. So I'm gonna try to wait it out till we get to that point today. I may look to take another entry though, just because I don't like the positioning right now. So these first 15 minutes will be key. You know, every 5 minute close inside this first 15 minutes are key. Five-minute price isn't looking so great unless we get a response here. Every time that 5 minute from this point on would close outside of that purple box, that's going to be a sign that they absorb the orders in that area and that they want to go higher. So if they get out of that box, great. If they get above 17.4, even better. And if they get to 17,450, then it's, you know, a pretty golden day. So just gonna have to be patient here still. It's only 10:02 a.m. So any pushes back above 17.4, I think are good chances. And on CFD, I'm just break even on this. So that way I don't gotta manage them or look at them. Yeah, they look like they're probably gonna push a little bearish. So I have my I usually have my risk right here. So I hope they don't just come and tap it for some reason because it's internal. But so I just gotta be patient here. ES really bearish. YM really bearish from 38,200 as well. So they may want that. They may want 17,300 levels. Let me look at this. I can't really see it. So those price actions don't look so great. But so unless there's like a lot of volume come in right here between now and 10:15, then it'll be a wrap. Because 17,300 looks way more open on that 15 minute to me than anything at this point, unfortunately. Mm. 5 minute price isn't looking good. It's looking more bearish than anything. So yeah, like if there's not a bounce off 17,350 here, then they'll push lower. Or off this candle here. And then ES looks really bearish still, so it's kind of in that area. They may, like I said, they may want 17.3s on NQ. They can even push above 17.4, like the highs right here on the 5 minute again. So like especially 17.4, I would think that we can get to 17.3, 450s. It's just like gotta be patient now. Make sure I can see it over here too. So only have so much time left in the day as well. That rejection was terrible. The 360s. So hopefully the location on this trade will work out. I wish I would have had even a little bit lower, like 2 or 3 points, but I do like my location and my stop loss placement. 15 and 5. So we get back above London Open here, 17,430s. We can get close even to there, between there and 450s. I may pull it for today, just because we're coming into like 11. I like the 1 hour like area, like I said. So it's like if we can get some 15-minute, 5-minute strength closer to 17.4, it'd be a lot better. So 5-minute close looking pretty good here off this bounce. 15 5-minute mitigation setup. Stop loss placement looks, pretty good. And price is looking to go in our favor now. So I'm break even on the CFD positions, which are I have 2 positions. One got hit, broke even, and the other one has the stop loss low like this one. So we can get that 5-minute to go back above 17,380, 17,390, and close like outside of that box, like I was explaining earlier. If we can close the 17,390s, there's a good chance I think we can get to this wick here and the 17,430s potentially. But we're not out of the clear yet. But it was a good response off that 17,350 potentially, if we can continue to find 5-minute, 15-minute momentum to the upside. A lot of volume coming into the market here. YM showing a lot of bullish price at that 38.2, and 15-minute on ES is showing white bullish candle going back and attacking daily open. So daily open and New York Open are at pretty much the high of the structure today for us on NQ. So to target 17,500 would be a really good target, I think. But I'm going to probably exit somewhere in the 17,450s, 17,480s. My goal per day is between 1,500 and 2,000, risking $400. So that's my game. Let's see if we can get there. 5-minute candles look pretty good. Now this 15-minute candle close, you'd want to see above 17.4, I would think personally. And that would kind of give you some more clarity that you're probably going to push to that 17,450 between now and 11:15. There's a better chance, because if you look at all three, you have some bullish price action off that 17,350 here. We haven't really showed any weakness anymore on ES, and YM's bullish. So we're pretty much just looking for this 5-minute candle to finally break out of this area, potentially, if this would work out. Otherwise, they'll just kind of topple over into that 17,300 area. So we'll see what this 5-minute close gives us. This 15-minute close will be really important here, if it's going to work or not. So they're kind of testing this area. It's kind of annoying. They may be building up liquidity here at the 17,350s, unfortunately. But they're just kind of sitting there, so we'll see. I really don't like how the 5-minute price looks. It shouldn't be that aggressive like that. Because they could be searching for liquidity here as well with this 10-15 close. So a lot of wicks too, unfortunately, built on that 15. So I just don't know if that level is going to make it. It's good 1-minute volume right there off that imbalance fill at the 17,360s, right? That's a really good fill. That's what you want to be seeing on small time price action. But now you want to see that momentum build, higher open, higher close, break a structure, right? Because if not, it's just fast pumps. But you are getting a pretty good pump on ES as well. So like I said, anything above 17,400, and I think this is going to be a pretty good trade. And if they can break out of this area here, like London Open area, then there's really like this 5-minute area. So essentially what I'm saying is this. If we can break out of this 17,410s, then that's a really good trade, I think, personally. I'm kind of nervous though. The Top Step guys just added 10 contracts at 374s. So hopefully that doesn't mean it's going to tank. Because that could mean there's a lot of like liquidity under this level, unfortunately. So if they can push to 17,450 first, great. But you know, I don't like it when I see them doing that. Hopefully they're on the right side of it today. Because yeah, they got in at 374s. So okay, so this has 1 minute before the 15-5 closes. So this is where the real volume is going to come in. Fifteen minutes aren't looking that great here. 363s, 362s, 361s. It's kind of just yeah. I want to see this price here and the reaction at the close. Yeah, and they're in at 374s. So like their our entry is pretty much their stop. So they don't have more than I don't think 54 risk. Yeah, they're down quite a bit on 10 contracts. Okay, so 15-minute close across the board. They all look pretty good. YM looks really strong. ES turned up pretty quick there. So we can just boom, out of the area, great. Because we tested that 17,350 quite a bit. So 17,430s, and I'll probably end up exiting, guys. Like London Open, I'll probably exit if I get a chance. And want to see more strength out of this 5-15 here going into 1030. Because if not, they'll just push lower and then give the better buy in the later half of the day. And that's kind of like what I kind of see them doing at this point. And like I said, when I see those guys come in and drop 10 contracts, It just kind of drives me insane because um, that means that I think we could be in the wrong area. And just we've been at 17,350 for such a long time that um, without a reaction that was stronger than that. So just not for sure, honestly, on it. It should have when it reacted from 17,350 that first time, it would have went. So it's probably gonna rip me here. Yeah, because the other two look really bearish. Yeah, all 15s are pretty bearish, and that 38,200 rejection on YM is pretty strong. So good price action still from that 17,350 level. They can just run away from it. That would be the key. Oh, just having to be patient here. So we'll see if they can, like I said, the 5 minutes going to tell me the real truth if that 5 minute can start turning up bullish. So if they can't, then they're going to make that continuation to the downside. Well, that's it on that one. So what I will say is that they do rally up from here, and I should have had my risk here. I'm going to be salty here in a second. So maybe kind of watch this really closely. Now I only had a 15-point risk on that one, so that wasn't so bad. The CFDs just got hit broke even. And then those shorts on the ES look pretty good from when we were looking at that 50-50 level. So they did go ahead and swipe this low too. So the better areas, if it were going to do anything, I would think would be lower down in here, or like the 17,250s, somewhere in there. But I will watch the last part of the hour. So right now I'm gonna wait. Let me check the price. What I have here is and I'm still available for another trade here in a little bit. So I'll probably take one more, but for right now, I'm going to wait until the last 15 minutes of the hour. So I will be back. Well, actually, I'll be back for 10:30 because the other day I took my position at 10:30 with that transition time, and it was really nice. So we'll see what we get. But overall, the 15 minutes are pretty bearish. We do have the 2024 open down there at 17,225. So don't want to put it past them on that either. So this is where I think price could be building up. You do have a pretty good little area here. Now we'd want to see some 5-minute strength, right? Because ES is still very bearish in that 15, and we still have a lot of room to go on the 18.3, or excuse me, 17.300. So let's be patient. I don't want to play a 1-minute setup personally, but it could be setting up in that area right there. So I'm going to frame up that low just to kind of get an idea. What's that low? That low is 17.319 and a quarter. All right, so I'm going to be kind of watching that area. Take profits or set 2. I want to be watching that 5. I want to understand where I'm at on that 15. All right. I like this area, guys. So in this area, now I only had a 15-point risk in the first one. So what I'm anticipating is that 5 minutes to close a little bit higher. But if it doesn't, then that'd be my last trade of the day. So that might be a little early. So if it does come to that low, I would try a little bit closer to 17.3 if it does come lower. So we'll look at that last 15 minutes of the hour to see if that's where it's going to happen, because they're still pretty bearish all on the 15s. So that 5-minute lower low is not a good sign, because that's a sign of weakness. So that means they could push price on this 15 a little bit lower. But they may, if this 5-minute engulfs, right? If it goes higher than 17.334, I thought they were going to give me 25. They gave me 334, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so if it goes higher though and closes on that 5-minute, then I think we could attack London Open possibly. So that just might have been a little early. So this last 15 minutes of the hour, if this position shows on the 5 minute, there is a chance that London Open still would be a target to me. Now the 15 minutes are still bearish, but they haven't broke ES 5025 quarter level yet, and they are forming the crown at 38,200 on the on YM, but I just don't think they're pushing down yet. I like how that price looks right there. But I do want to see that 5 minute close a little bit stronger. So we'll wait for that 5 minute to possibly pop up, come back down, and then see if we can factor something a little better. So if we come into that 5 minute open one more time, I'm taking that trade for that 1 minute open. I already took it on CFD. So I want to get inside that 1 minute open, that 5 minute open, and just place my risk. But we'll see how this next candle comes down. Don't want to get too aggressive here. We're in a good spot in the 15 and 1 hour still. Good price action as well. But I want that open, right, of that area. So I need a pullback, and then I'll use 17,325s. What's the low on this candle here? 323s as my stop. I might have bounced. Just be a little patient here. Like I said, I grabbed it on CFD. So I do want to come out of here with a green day, but I'm not going to force it. Good 15-minute price here. So that's the area, you know what I mean? So now as it starts to build back down, you just have to be patient here for this price to potentially give you a chance inside of here on this candle, with that stop loss placement being like right here, because you don't want to really risk too much farther than the range. And I'm doing this off the numbers. So looking at the other two, the 15s look pretty good too. So it's just like, I don't want to buy it when the price is already going up. I want to do it when it's doing this right here. There it is. That's the order. And so I will, in this situation, because I got 33, that's a 10-point risk. So I will accept this risk to here for the 20 points at this point today. And if, you know, this one turns into a loss, it is what it is. But 5 minute price did close higher high, showing me my signal. and I'm looking at a 1-4, 1-3, just even getting to 17,400, I would be 2xing my losses on the day on the account and coming out with the green day. So that's the goal. So let's see. And then you're getting YM still playing that 38,200 level pretty well. So I'm like, they could go higher on there. And so we really would want to see 5-minute price work here, or otherwise they'll just wipe this liquidity very quickly and it'll be over. So if that stop loss would have been at 23, it would have been a wrap. So inside the range right here, like I said, if it doesn't rally from this 5-minute 50%, then it'll go lower. It'll be a wrap. So make sure I manage this position too. Okay, and I have my other one managed, so I'm just kind of watching it. So if we don't rally above 17,350 right here, then they could go lower. And I need to keep that risk at that level. So yeah, if there's not a response here at the 23s, 25 quarter levels, then price will probably just continue bearish for the rest of the day. Or at least into the PM session. But like I said, I'm just looking for price to go back to 17.4, take the highs at 17,380s here. So this last 15 minutes of 10 going into 11:15 is kind of like usually when I'm done. The price likes to transition, so it's either this is it or it ain't. So if we do push to the 17,350s, though, I may start managing the risk, just because, like I said, I have experienced some losses on the day. But right now, I'm just managing the 15 5-minute position. My eyes are basically focused on a 5-minute on a line graph, just getting above those highs if possible. If we can do that, then I'd come out of here with a green day and probably walk off into the sunset. So we did get that 5-minute close, higher high, showing signs of strength. So that's a good sign to attack at least potentially 17,385s. And that alone would be a really good trade too. So I think if we can get to the 17,385s, then we could punch the 17,400 level potentially. Now ES is still in that area on the 15, and that crown's kind of forming at 38,200 on YM kind of dangerously. So, we're just in a pullback area though on the 15 1 hour to me when it comes to and yeah, it's the 1 hour 15 on NQ. So, to pull back to 17,400 seems like it could be possible. Where's my So I like the 5-minute price. I like the 15-minute price. This is exactly what we were kind of trying to see a second ago, but we just needed to wait for that 5-minute signal. I was a little impatient. So if we can get back above 17,350s here and this 5-minute can keep opening higher and closing higher, then good. But we just got to be patient here in the 11:15 a.m. Central Time Zone. You are seeing 15-minute bullishness on ES, and then like I said, we shall see though, because when it's slow like this, sometimes that's when they're gonna slowly grind down. But if we get some 15-minute strength here, like this 15-minute candle can close above 17,350, I think that based on the swing of the day that we could, make our way back at least to 17,400 here. And so for me, I'm gonna definitely like as a pretty good entry off that 5 minute open. So if I can get from this 5 minute, area breaking structure on the 5 minute, that's gonna be, from here to the break of structure is 50 points, right? 50 times 20, that's about $1,000 minus the losses. That'd still be in a green day. All right, because I have about $400 in losses currently in the markets. To be exact, I have, let's see here. Yeah, I have about $430 in losses. So let's see what we can do here. Let's see if price is going to do what we think it's going to do. YM's pushing that 38,200 very bullish. If you look at ES, actually, I'll just pull it over here. If you look at ES now, this time of day is kind of like we're used to seeing. You're seeing NQ starting to pull. You're seeing ES hold the last down candle before the rally, right? So it's almost like showing that, okay, we showed you guys we might sell, and now we're about to return back up, which is kind of what I'm anticipating for a Friday. We'll see though. In the CFD position, I have in the same spot, literally the same area. So we got to break this 350 levels. So I'll stop looking as much at this 1 minute because we do have that accumulation that's formed. And so now I'm really just focused on, the opening and closing of each one of these 5 minute candles here. If I can continue to see higher opens and higher closes inside these candles, that gives me more inclination that we can go break this structural high and that we could be, if you look at the swing high to swing low of the day, the equilibrium is pretty much the London Open. So if we can go back to equilibrium of the day, I'll come out of here with a green day and shave some partials, some more partials off the CFD, and that would be it. So you really just want to see that, like I said, these 5 minute candles and 15 minute candles close strong here going into 11:15. So I just lowered my risk on that one. So that five, like I said, if we don't get a 5 minute close, that's starts going stronger than 17 350s here soon, then I would think that they may just topple over. I like the 15 minute five price right now. It looks like we're about to close above 17 350 potentially. And if you take a look on that far screen, not as much, but that 1 minute accumulation is building pretty well. But you want to keep your focus on 15 and 5 minute candle closures here. Because if it's going to be a real move to 17.4, then you're going to see those candle closures stay strong on the 15 and 5. So I'm gonna move the arrows because it's in the way on the higher time frames, but we're wanting to see basically where our entry is, this area start to hold on the 5 minute and move up quickly here now. That push down is fine, but because that's kind of clearing some more of that 50%. But you want to see now in the next 2 minutes this 5 minute candle close above our entry and then start making its way up. Because if not, like I said, that 15 minute isn't showing signs of strength, that it won't go to the whole level 17,300 first. So it's kind of like a make or break it type area, I would say, here on the 15 5 minute. Which if they go hit the whole level today, then they just got it. So 265. So, yeah, I'm stay in that range today. Now, let's see. Here's oh yeah. So my risk is in the range, but it's based off of a number system. So if it hits it today, then that's fine. Now the entry I have on CFD is actually a lot better. So I actually was able to use a 15-point risk from the low to the entry. So who knows? But that 17,300 level is kind of looking like a magnet at this point. And if ES kind of topples over at 50/30s, then and then YM fails 38,200 at the same time, then it will be, pretty much a wrap. They're about to run the internal for sure. That 5 minute close is just getting ready to close lower low, it seems like. We'll see where this 5 minute closes. That 5 minute closes lower low, then price will probably just go take that internal liquidity and hit 17,300. And that 5 minute looks like it's definitely about to close lower low. So 15 minutes look pretty weak on ES. They're searching. So that 5 minute is a lower low, so that's signs of weakness that the 15 minutes getting ready to go hit that 17,300 level. So if they just hit this internal and and then it rallies, I'd be like, be salty, but it is what it is. I have to leave that number where I have it as that predetermined risk. So that'll be it for that one. So not exactly the day obviously I wanted it to be, but at least it's the predetermined risk that I had. So if price does bounce off the 17,300 level, actually give me 1 second. Okay, cool. It's good. Okay, cool. So if price does bounce off this 17,300 level, it may work out later in the day just because I mean they'll search make you search for PM session to get that type of trade, but price is still, if you can tell the difference on the fibs from swing low to swing high here, still at a good spot to go to where I like to see it, like the 71%. Now the difference is when you look at like ES from the swing low to the swing high of the day, it hasn't even broke the 50 yet. So when we were looking at shorts on the 15 and 5, when price was up in here above daily open at 50/50, those were probably the best bet just because, but they were just building so slow on how they were doing it. But now if you look at YM and where it's at on the 1 hour, like 4 hour, 1 hour and 15, 38,200 here, you can kind of see that like either this crown is going to form and push away from 38.2, or they'll eventually break through and maybe they want a little bit higher and then they'll sell. But this to me, when you're looking at this 15-minute close coming into 11, I kind of want to see, you know, that 11-15. But if they can go take this 50% at the same time they're at the 78.6 down in here, I would say you still may have a chance on a position. You know what I mean? So just depends. But for the stream, and for this account for today, what I was going to trade, that's going to be it. So appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, every day you can't win, but just make sure that your loss days are predetermined and that, you know, your wins are always 3 and 4 times that number. So with that being said, you guys have a good rest of your day. Peace.